Press the record. Oh, so yeah, I think recording has started, so we can start. So hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cozy NFTs, where we talk to some of the most interesting creatives in the NFT field. I'm your host Moody, and today we have the coffee crew joining us. So how's it going, everyone? And I guess I'm not sure who wants to start first, but can you kind of tell us about who you are, how you're doing today, and maybe any interesting stuff that's happened recently with you in the NFT field? Maybe NFT Millionaire can start first.
Okay, as you can see, my name is Abbas on the Zoom. I'm I joined exactly the NFT community 23 days ago, and it's been like a great journey so far. I met a lot of good people, a lot of amazing artists, and the great thing that I felt in the NFT community is that the bonds between the people who are like member of the NFT community is so strong. It's different than the cryptocurrency community, which is let's say the dad and the father and mother of the NFT community in somehow. So in NFT community, the relationship is more pure in terms of like everyone wanna like wishes the best for the other artist, other member, and this every day it amazes me how this bond is actually creating stronger community. Everyone in the community is doing whatever they can do to support the community most of the time before they actually look into what is best for them. Like, it's not selfish things happening. It's like there's like pure community concentrated like activities, which is very like important to actually grow the community and the NFT community to be stronger. Because in my opinion, everything started strong with the strong foundation is gonna last.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Mark?
Hi there, I'm Mark, and yeah, I started with the NFT also about 2 months ago. I was studying a lot. I had more as a side hustle, my photography stuff, and I'm taking a little bit more serious, creating kind of plan for the photographies and things like that. And yeah, I couldn't explain better than NFT Millionaire. It's just an awesome community, you know. Yeah, you know, a lot of good people, and I've been on these spaces like 4 or 5 weeks more or less, and then I met these amazing people, and everyone is so welcoming. You feel very welcome to share your work, to discuss ideas, and to help others. So that's really awesome. So that's where I am now. It's a side hustle, but you know, it's a very good opportunity to share the work, to know awesome other artists, other work, and to share this spirit of community. I think this is the most the important word here is the community. So this is really good.
Laura, what about you?
Me?
Yeah, like maybe introduce yourself.
My name is Laura, and I'm an illustrator. I'm also a web developer and just a general nerdy girl. I'm also pretty goofy, love the community. I love encouraging people to get up and talk about themselves. So that's kind of what I'm known for in spaces.
Do Crypto and Peppercino, whoever wants to go first, next, you guys could.
Hi, how are you? Well, my name is Luis. Not a problem.
Okay, sorry. My
I
name
Oh wait, do crypto. Why don't you go first and then Peppercino?
sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay, so my name is Luis. I am from Central America, Honduras, basically. Well, I am in space of NFT around 4 months. I'm gonna be on this end of July. And well, basically, I started as everybody, like from zero, and then I start to making art and start hustling and start knowing this amazing family that we are right now, and it's pretty amazing because well, in the time that I am in this community, I have learned a lot about not only art, but about relationship with people that are around the world, and this is something pretty amazing because if you manage to keep your circle in your own country and in your own space life, it's very difficult to grow. And right now, being able to know people from all around the world, knowing Millionaire, knowing you, knowing Laura, and all the Maruk, and everybody, it's pretty amazing to share stories and knowledge, and also being able to help people is the most amazing thing in the world. So basically, that's who I am, and well, let's see how Peperoncino goes.
How you doing, everybody? Hope everybody's well. Like I said, my name is Pepperoncino. I've been on this journey literally since April, and can I tell you, it's been a phenomenal journey compared to where I was a year ago, to say the least. There's a lot of people in this room that I need to thank because of what they've done for me in this journey. And like Laura said, she's one of these individuals that help people gain their confidence and actually come and speak in these communities. And she has done that for me. And since that day, I've been able to come out and actually share my story of the time that I've sort of spent in these spaces and various other things through my life. It has definitely been something that I did not expect. I did not expect that NFTs and these NFT spaces would be such a dramatic change in my life or in others as well. I can speak for everybody that's in this group when it comes down to like what NFT Millionaire has done, Mark, and the community. They have been so supportive for each and every one that is in the community, and these are things that you would never see in sort of like necessarily see on an everyday outdoor and regular life. But these communities have actually helped many people grow as individuals, and it is phenomenal. I'm I'm personally a painter, photographer, and now digital artist, and it's been amazing to see the journey with regards to, for instance, my work that I've created along that line. So it's amazing. It is definitely amazing. The NFTs are a way of life that is completely changing and will continue to change.
And then just last introduction, May, who you are, what kind of work you do, and yeah.
Is this myself or?
No, May.
Okay.
Can unmute.
Hi, this is May. Thank you so much for having this podcast today and for bringing us all together. It's always nice to hang out with family because that's what everybody on this call is to me. I am a photographer and I am based in Pittsburgh right now, but I come from Kenya originally. And so my photography shows both how my worlds intersect between living in the US and also being a Kenyan. And so that's what the duality in my work and my perspective whenever I shoot. I joined the NFT space I was introduced to it in April through a group that I'm in called the Black Women Photographers Community. And someone from in there, a lady called Diana Sinclair, who's been a pioneer in this space in bringing in so many people from diverse backgrounds. And so she introduced us to NFTs, and I took that leap of faith because at that time that's how it felt. And I believe with most people, whenever we're starting out, it is one of those things that you do, and you're not sure half the time what you're doing. But I took the leap of faith in May, and I have been in the space since. My work is in multiple platforms, but I am seeing myself more as I think how the community is shaping me, or how I'm beginning to find my place in this space, is as someone who encourages people, especially from backgrounds not from the West, to present themselves as they are without feeling like they're inferior in any way because they do not speak English like the Westerners would, or that they have accents, and women who have felt inferior in their communities. And also, I mean, just young artists who are coming into the space feeling like it is Western dominated, but it's truly a space for everybody. And I just feel called to uplift and help encourage people to speak and show their work, because I believe everybody in this space is an individual, and everybody has something to bring to the table, and the uniqueness that we have as individuals cannot be copied and borrowed, or it's just you. It's just intrinsically you, and that's who I am.
All right, cool.
Thank you for giving me this time to speak.
No problem. So now that we're done with introductions, you guys can we can have more free flowing conversations. So kind of like, I guess, a good icebreaker I want to ask is the future NFTs. Do you think it's going to be one-of-one editions or more collectibles focused? So anyone who wants to answer that question can start.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to jump in if you'd like.
Please go ahead.
I'm really, really excited about the future of NFTs in general. And I think we as artists tend to limit ourselves based on just art. But as a developer, I see NFTs becoming so much more. We already see implementation in things like games and other, collectible series, but I think it's going to go way past that into something else. I don't really know exactly what yet, but I'm just super excited in general. I think NFTs will be one of ones. They will be collectibles. They will also be music videos and short films and whatever else we can dream up. It's just a digital file intrinsically, and so that can be almost anything we can come up with, which is really, really exciting. So
anyone else want, I guess, tell their own perspective on it?
I totally agree. I think that the NFT is just in its early days. It's just beginning, and the possibilities are awesome for the future. I think related to exactly what it was, because I think there will be room for both one-on-ones and collectibles. So the one-on-ones, I see that the most artistic pieces, unique things that can be done, and collectibles. For example, we have crypto.com. They already having collectors in collections of NFT. They have, I think, the cards for Argentinian football. And I think that there will be place for both on a short term. But on the long run, totally agree with Laura. It's a new technology. There's so much to explore yet, and there's so much possibilities. I think that the contracts, the Ethereum contracts, are just we are just starting with that. And as soon as big players start coming to the market, this thing is gonna blow. It has a huge opportunity behind it.
I have a tendency to agree with with both of them, with both Mark and Laura, because I do see where we started, say for instance, at the beginning of April for myself in this journey, and to where we are today. The amount of, say, collaborations that have happened within the community, and ideas that have been shared through various artists and collectors and other individuals. The trajectory to where NFTs were simply 3-4 months ago to where they are today has grown substantially. So, and that's only in a small span of time. So just to think of where this can lead in the next, even 6 months to even a year, the growth to what, for instance, Laura was saying, items that are in games, NFTs that are on different platforms. So the possibility to this is honestly, it's endless. And the collaborations with movies, sound. So it's not just an image, but a combination between different artists for NFTs can definitely make the environment and the community grow as well. So the NFTs are definitely on the rise, strictly because of people thinking outside of the box and not necessarily thinking, these are the parameters that we're stuck with, but they're pushing the parameters that are there. So I can definitely see a huge growth coming in the very near future, and who knows what'll happen even past that.
I'll agree with Mark, Laura, and Peperoncino about like what is the NFT and where it's gonna be in the future in terms of in the art world and in the daily use of the NFT, where it's like I can see that the NFT started with art, but it has unlimited options on what you can use for it. It's like I look at it in a way like if the NFT been like adopted by the big companies, this is gonna be a huge jump for the NFT in general. The non-fungible token, not the art itself. The art is gonna like keep growing, but the NFT utility and usage for it is gonna be expanding to other businesses, for example, clothing, like maybe we'll reach a point not anytime soon where the government is actually going to start using it for identity license. You can get your the deed, the house, your land is like actually having an NFT for it on the blockchain, and the sky is the limit. The sky, it's not the limit. The sky is not the limit, because when Ethereum start like switching from proof of work to proof of stake, it's gonna change the cost of the gas fee, let's say it, for the NFT. And then we will see new businesses jumping into it to actually, for example, if we will take any big clothing company who want to like have the barcode of the NFT. So this meeting has been updating. I received a message. I don't know. I can't hear you, Mahmoud.
I didn't get any message.
Oh, okay.
I think we're good. It's
Yeah.
still recording.
So the cost of actually adding NFT to the businesses now, it's high because of the gas fee. The items I might see Gucci, Louis Vuitton, like Louis Vuitton, or like any big companies who having this special expensive pieces, taking it as a barcode or as a like proof of ownership of this specific item, and this is actually gonna easy it more for people who actually buying this stuff. Sometimes they put it on the secondary market. So see how similar it is, this thing, into the into the art space, where it's like this expensive coat, for example, which is like, if you're gonna have the NFT for it now, it's gonna be like, like, even though it's a big companies, but they actually do cost analysis and see how it's like, we'll go into it. They might have the ability to actually jump in earlier than others because they are able to label it in a way where it's like, we are unique, we have NFT for our stuff. You can have it with the clothing, which is, I see this is luxurious brands were gonna jump in earlier. But when the gas fee start actually going down after Ethereum switch to proof of stake, this is gonna help a lot the NFT in general, and it will help in somehow the art side of the NFT, because the NFT is not only about art. It can be used anywhere and in any field you can imagine.
It's very true. Like it can be implemented in so many different fields, but the one struggle that I've been having, like I've been trying to introduce NFTs within my university's football team, trying to get the athletics department interested. The biggest struggle that I've had is explaining what NFTs are. So I'm curious, like maybe you guys might have some tips and just explaining NFTs to a person who has no idea what even blockchain is. Like, what have been some methods you guys have done? Yeah, I'd be curious to hear, or even to your families, like how you've explained how you're making money these days.
Can I answer that question? And whoever want to ask, like, actually absolutely answer the question. So I explained this to my wife as this is a license. You're having a license for your item, that you are the only one who own it, who can actually not owning the art, the copyrights, but you are actually having the license to sell it. Sometimes you will get with the collectibles the right, the copyright, the full right to do whatever you want to do with the item itself. But this is giving you a license in terms of like proof of ownership to actually being able to sell it in the future easily. And you have it like in the blockchain in a safe place, some like to a certain point where you can use it and sell it again. And you prove that you are the owner of this piece.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it, but there's a lot more to it than that. How I explain it to the people who, I guess, don't really understand. What I'll do is I'll say something like your Etherscan, your blockchain transactions are like your receipt, right? You're running receipt for all of your stuff, and the things that you own, they can be, anything. They can be music, they can be art. Those tokens, they're irreplaceable. That's why they're non-fungible. There's only one of them, or a small series, or however many are limited. And those items, they live in sort of like your virtual bank account, your wallet. And you can use them for collateral. You can use them for trading, for all sorts of things within the ecosystem. But NFTs are basically assets. That's all it is. It's just an asset. So if you're looking at things in terms of an investment world, those assets could just be something that you're flipping. You buy it and then you turn around and you flip it for a higher price. They could also be something super precious and sentimental that you never want to sell. I mean, some people keep, their first gold bar forever and they'll never ever get rid of it because it's sort of like there's the significance of them starting a wealth or something along those lines. So they can be sentimental or they can just be investment, but they're all just assets that people can own.
Mhm.
See,
Go ahead,
so
whoever spoke first.
can I go respond to that question?
Sure,
I have
yeah,
a
go ahead.
different, thank you. I have a different perspective on that because I come from a community, or rather, I grew up in a society that did not consider the arts as careers that kids should get into. And so it has taken a lot of being the oddball or taking the path less traveled in some way to even get into this space. And for me, it's not how I've not really done a lot of art prior to, I mean, the past 3 years is when I really got into photography as a business. But before that, it was just a hobby. And I had I was doing something else, but my family would not understand that this is a path I've chosen to take as a second stream of income or as a way of making a living. So until I have tangible examples of wins, it's hard to explain to them that this is just an asset or I'm investing in the future and things like that. So I have to put in the work right now to try and get more sales and have almost like show them, okay, so this is what I did. Look at the money I'm making. It's here. It's evident. This is what I'm able to do. In fact, finish the house you're building, like do the project that you're doing, because those are things that they want to see the benefit of their child and having this career that's actually helping them do something with it, not just have money in a wallet somewhere. So that's why I'm pushing right now to just get to the place where I can, send them money and say, okay, we're able to do this now because I was able to sell some of my artwork, and it's now I can now live comfortably and I can also support you comfortably. And so before I get to the place where I can just tell them these are assets I'm keeping and investing in the future, I have to make some wins right now that are tangible and clear for them to understand. And then I can explain more about the blockchain and how they can also contribute to it, because they have some art themselves, but they don't take it seriously like I do now. So thank you for listening.
No problem.
and see,
And you have,
if I can jump in here. See, what I find interesting is I think we've spoken to 4 people already, and 4 people already have different opinions or describe it differently. And I also describe it differently. And I guess the easiest way for me, for instance, trying to describe it, for instance, to my elderly mom, was fairly funny, because trying to explain what an NFT is, and how there's a money transfer in terms of crypto. She was completely dumbfounded. She had no clue and everything else. So the easiest way for me to turn around and sort of give her an understanding of it was, see, I come from a banking background, and nowadays transactions are literally done via the internet, or you don't really see money flow from your account to either pay a bill, or if you're receiving email money transfer, because a lot of people don't carry cash in their wallets anymore. It's all done literally virtually already. So I took that sort of analogy and explained it to her. It's like, I have money in my account, which would be my NFTs, the items I've created, my tokens, and things along that line, that if someone wants them as an asset, or if they want to buy them, they have to pay me for those. So in order for them to pay me, they pay me in this new form of currency, which is cryptocurrency. And when they do pay me for that particular asset, that asset gets transferred over to them. So for me, that sort of analogy was easier to explain to, for instance, an older woman who's not too familiar with technology, but is more familiar with the everyday and older form of asset transfer, money transfers, and things like that. Because once again, we're in this new age where we don't carry, like I said, a lot of money on us, because you swipe your phone, and that money gets transferred. You go to make a payment, your money gets transferred, and it's the same sort of thing. You go to a store, you want to purchase a new suit. So what ends up happening is you can either use your credit card, or you can use your phone to make that transaction. So the asset gets transferred, you're transferring money, and that's sort of the same sort of premise without getting into too much of the details. And I think that that's the biggest issue when people start to try to figure out what the details are, how it's set up on the blockchain, what the premise of the blockchain is. But then that's when we can go and explain where us as creators basically can go and say, this is as Millionaire was saying, that this is the license. I created this, I've got my name on it, and I'm transferring you the copy so that if you can take a look at it. So it's a sort of that licensing fee. So there's sort of a way that these things need to be explained, because the masses don't really understand the concept. Where I even have friends that are in the technology world, that still don't understand sort of the concept of the NFTs and how they work. They understand the blockchain, but they don't understand the concept. So I think that as things start to progress, what's going to happen is the knowledge is going to come out. People are going to start understanding it, but it's going to take some time for them to understand it. But when they do, that's where that light switch is going to go on, and people are really going to start, for instance, either jumping on board and moving these assets as possible collectibles, or even for themselves for future investments. So it's that sort of idea, and that's my explanation. Because like I said, you've already had 4 people on here, and 4 people have explained it in 4 different ways. So I find it very interesting to see that.
Yeah, if I may add,
Go ahead.
yeah, just a quick addition to all of that. I think everything was very well explained. We need just to understand we're talking about technology, the blockchain and the cryptocurrencies and the NFT. And as soon as the technology is getting more known to everybody, it's get more understandable and usable. What I would add for that, as an explanation that I gave to a friend, was that, okay, you buy skins for a Fortnite game, okay, but you don't own it. You don't own it. It's just associated to your account. And if the Epic servers are hacked and everything is destroyed, you don't have it. It's centralized. So imagine that you can create your own skin, and then you can share, you can sell it, or you can buy a skin that is really yours, is transparent, is registered on the blockchain, and you can sell it whenever you want. And when you create that, if you want to get some money every time this piece is sold throughout the chain, you're gonna have it. So this was an easy explanation that I could give. And just one addition to what May said is I would add that it's globally reach. So especially for artists that are very in some countries that they cannot expose their art. Yesterday we were at Space, and one guy said that in his country he cannot take photographies of women, and this is the kind of art that he does. This is what he likes to do, but he cannot do that. He cannot show his work there because of this restriction. With the technology, with this global reach, he is now able to do that. So that's another important factor for this technology.
Do Crypto, you have any opinions?
Yeah, in my case, it's very hard to explain people around me how NFT works because, you know, Honduras is a country that, well, we are way behind technology. And even if we have El Salvador, El Salvador is like uh, aiming to this new technology and to these new transactions on the blockchain. Honduras is not a country that is like very educated on matters of blockchain and technology. So it's hard to explain to my friends and to, well, to my family. Actually, they are very aware that this is something that it's coming very hard and very strong in the few weeks, few months, and probably this year is gonna break a lot of molds. And but basically, I don't know. I am trying to create something that can do a lot good for my country, and we can actually educate people because it's going to be necessary that people have their own wallets, and in the future we can pay bills with it. You know, we can be free of taxes, and we can be free of giving probably money to people that to governments, you know, that they are doing nothing with it, and this is a like a freedom, you know, like independence for people, monetary speaking. So
Got it.
Can I add one more thing on that?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think Mark and Duo the sensitive part of what is NFT, as well as May. I do look into the crypto as a tool in the third countries to be more free and more like have control over your assets and your actual your money, because like there is a lot of corruptions, a lot of like banking corruption systems in all of these countries, a lot of like, you know, stuff like going on into the systems who's there. I'm gonna start with what May said about having like a way to sell your art, and in my opinion, the NFT gave opened the door for the artists who was not seeing before, who was like, you know, don't have the tool or the outlet to present their work. If you look at it in the traditional art, you have to have, you know, like gallery or someone sponsor you who will actually take sometimes more than 50% from your sales. And, you know, this is something been like, you can look at it as you've been abused somehow if you are a new artist in order to achieve what you want to achieve. There is still some fees that these platforms like doing, but it's like it's a small, like, you know, commission, you can call it, and it is not impacting the artist as it was in the traditional world. So how I look at it, if you in the traditional world, you're trying to present yourself, it's gonna take you ages before you actually been seen. In NFT, you can join yesterday and somebody will actually buy your stuff and know who you are. If you use the tool in the right way, if you actually present yourself, talk about yourself, show your work in a way like, successful way, you will be able to literally with $50, you will be able to list and to mint and list one piece on foundation, and you will be able to generate income from that, like in 3 days. You will have the ability to do that if you are lucky and you know what you're doing and how to do it. But if you look at it in the traditional world, it's gonna take you sometimes decade before you actually start like feeling like someone is seeing you. So it's more liberty, freedom, and the great outlet for the artist, for the old artists. Yesterday I had someone in the space who told me like, I feel like I'm stranger here even though I'm famous outside. I'm known as like in my city, I'm famous, but it's like I'm here, I feel like nobody knows me. And this is the cool thing about Twitter. Now I know him, now I know him, and the 50 like 40 other people who were in the space know who he is. And this is actually, it is, everybody is coming into the NFT community in the art side equally. They start with the same level of like being like nobody knows them, and they coming in equally into the system, and from there up it's up to them as an artist, as an individual, to improve and build this distinguished thing around them in a way. Yeah, this is better than the guy who outside maybe have like $200,000 sales a year. You know what I mean? It's like, this is the equality, like what NFT and Twitter build for the artist. You're jumping in the same exact at the same exact level and opportunities as the other have, who has like big artist. But it is up to you as an artist to distinguish yourself in this market, to build your name in this market, because this market, it doesn't matter if you are like selling $1 million outside. It doesn't matter. Like the entry level is the same for everyone, and from there it is up to the artist to actually show and prove themselves, which is amaze me every day, like how it is fair in terms of fairness, but you need to work hard for it to get into a level like where it's like you're selling a lot. It is up to you, but you have the same equal right, the same equal level as everybody else. And it is a great thing. For what you was saying about the government, I think that I've covered that one. I think crypto in general is about giving freedom over your money in the other country. The third world country is actually the crypto is for this type of country. And I think this is, I'm saying that from a personal experience. So my parents are overseas, and in the country that I came from, there is a corruption, and the banking system got corrupted in a way why it's like went down 1,000 like one no 20,000%, 2,000%, sorry, 2,000%. The people who has their money in the bank system, if you had $10,000 1 year ago, you have now $10 worth of money, if this is in the country currency. So what I started to do, I started to transfer them crypto, and they will start using it in the market with the other people who want to buy crypto. So they will take dollars and they will sell crypto, and in that way they will have actually a good way to like, not a good way, it's like a free platform, a free outlet to get their money out of it. And I think cryptocurrency is a great thing, and it's gonna give more freedom for the people on the third world country or other country where there is dictatorships. And sorry, I may taking a lot. I want to cover Mark comment about the artist who actually doesn't have like he cannot actually go and do whatever he want to do, like shooting women, shooting whatever he want to shoot, and it's like presenting his art. And this is actually give the artist or other artists who live in a dictatorship countries liberty over their work, where they can present it not in their country, they can present it to the world. It is so big and so important, the level of liberty and freedom the artist got and had when the NFT started. So that's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, I agree with a lot what you said, and especially with like now we're transitioning to Web3 with blockchain technology. Like Web2, a lot of artists to be seen, like your Instagram, Facebook. I mean, sure, artists were being seen, but they weren't getting paid. And I think with Web3, your followers, your likes can now be liquidated into like real money. Like before, you like if you weren't living in America, if you're living in somewhere like Thailand, it's like hard making print shops, selling your prints. Like even doing commissions isn't even that much. But with now Web3, you can easily liquidate your art. You can make money, actual money through it. You can be on the same level as a person who's in a gallery, and I think that's really cool. But kind of like going on the step of like you kind of mentioned inflation. Lupify, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He's like a huge Twitter NFT Twitter influencer. He made this tweet which was controversial take. Ethereum NFT should be listed, bought, and sold using stable coins. And I was curious, like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, we've seen, like, especially in the past month in May, something that was maybe when Ethereum was at like $3,000-4,000. Now it's like at half the price, and so is the artwork. You think we should opt in for more stable coins so an artwork's value is constant to the US dollar, or I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
I think that the stable coin it's a way to try to bring more people to the crypto world that is not used to that yet and is not ready to this fluctuation of the currency. And I think it's a kind of way to bring financial institutions to the market, because the stablecoin, the objective of that is to bring the stability of the value of the coin. But I'm not sure if this would be the way for NFTs. We would need to have to review the contracts and the objective of that, and I think that yes, it would have a fixed, let's say, a fixed price for a piece, but in the same way, we wouldn't have this fluctuation or this, let's say, how this piece can gain, increase the price, and how we can do better in the second market. But I think that this might not be as important in the future as soon as the technology evolves, because one of the points of the fluctuation today, as Millionaire was saying, is the proof of work for the Ethereum network. So whenever we change this for proof of stake, we're going to reduce the cost and we're going to reduce the time to execute that. And whenever we improve on the technology side and we reduce the cost, the operational cost, we can gain more, not stability, but we can
Acceptance.
have more acceptance. Yeah, that's the word. And you just think 10, 20 years ago, when the technology made things starting being possible. So when we started with the internet, we never thought that we'd get internet on the phone. When we started using internet on the phone, it was kind of slow and a lot of things wouldn't make sense to do. And now with faster networks, fast connection, I can get my phone and I can order a pizza without talking to anyone. So this is a paradigm change. And I'm thinking that the stable coin is a kind of tool to make it easy for people to came to the market. But I'm not sure if this is going to be the future, because everything that is what we are trying to do with crypto is to get rid of the centralized system. And if you have a stable coin, you are centralizing the idea of the value of that crypto. And I think that when we talk about crypto, we are going to the other way, to the decentralized, where the community itself, the users itself, dictate what are the value for that.
I definitely agree with you. Like, especially if you implement a stable coin, you're going towards centralization rather than decentralization. You're giving more power to a certain currency. Yeah, it's a very interesting question. Anyone else have an opinion on it?
Yeah, well, it's kind of interesting, right? I mean, we're all decentralizing, but then we're also fighting this centralization that just happens naturally when people want things to work in a certain way, and they want it to be, efficient and widely accepted. That usually comes from a centralization or something being consolidated into something. For example, I'm not a big fan of fast food, but if I go to another country and I step into, McDonald's, I know what I'm going to expect in general. You might not get exactly what you're used to, but that centralization or that conglomeratization makes it so that you know what you're getting when you're getting that centralized format. I don't know what's right or what's wrong here. These are all just observations, but it's a fascinating concept, and I think throughout history, if you look at monopolies getting taken down in certain sectors of commerce, this is just something that we fight all the time. I mean, you get something that's so successful that then it becomes too big to fail, or too big for, Facebook is another great example. Like, what do you do with that now? I mean, it started out as a small little company and people enjoyed it for its offering and its services, and now it's become something else entirely. And how do you regulate that? How do you work within those conflicting interests there? So I think this is going to be an age-old question that we're just going to keep having to answer over and over again throughout time. And it's only because that's sort of the nature of economics, especially global economics, where everything becomes just so much bigger.
I really like the analogy with the McDonald's. I mean, it does, like, when you put in that scenario, it does make a lot more. I don't know, and obviously there's no right or wrong in this thing, because it's just going to be like what it serves. Yeah, I don't think there's a right or wrong. Are there any more?
It's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah. Are there any more thoughts you guys might have on this? If not, there's just one last question. So this is like, I'm curious, like, what do you think will be the biggest way people are going to get into blockchain? Do you think it will be NFTs or will it be cryptocurrencies? Because NFTs right now are basically being used as a media format, and media tends to bring in culture, culture brings in more people, but on the other hand, cryptocurrencies like money, it's basically how our society functions. So I'm curious, like, what do you think will bring in, what's going to be the biggest pusher to people in the NFT space, like in non-NFT spaces or non-crypto spaces?
I think games. I think games are such a huge industry, and mostly, I'm not saying all, but a lot of younger people are in gaming. And so the friction for understanding the new tech will be lower, and just the massive sheer capability that games provide within the NFT community, I think that'll be, and we're already seeing it happening, so buckle in.
I totally agree, Laura. I totally agree. And the first thing that came to my mind is what's going to the blockchain. I thought it's everything. So everything that is digitally is going to the blockchain sooner or later. It's just a matter, as I mentioned, it's just a matter of the technology getting faster. We're just not there yet, because you can have a credit card transaction in milliseconds and a Bitcoin transaction in minutes or hours, depending on the time of the day.
Right.
It's unpredictable. Yeah, but games, yeah, I think that games would dominate on a short term, especially these virtual worlds. And it's just a matter of comparison. If you remind, some years ago, we had the Second Life. It was a kind of game, but there was not much use to that because it was stuck in. Again, the technology was a blocker for that. But today, the technology is much more advanced, and you can explore these worlds. We have lands that are selling by thousands of dollars in these virtual spaces. And, Epic, I think it was Epic Games, received a port of $1 billion to start working on NFTs. I might be wrong. I just getting that from memory, but I think that there's a big game company that get a lot of money to put on that, and I think that very soon, as soon as these big companies get into the game, it's gonna go to the moon. So the sky is not the limit, millionaire. Yeah, maybe we are targeting the moon now, and who knows what else.
You know what? I was thinking about this yesterday because a few months ago, I was like playing Minecraft with my kids, right? And it was pretty amazing, right? I was building stuff, and we were building um, crazy phases on Minecraft, and it was pretty cool, right? And then I started to NFT world, and I mean, the kids, the younger generation, are gonna be so easy to come into NFT spaces, and it's pretty amazing that we are the ones that are gonna teach them that kind of stuff with the video games. Video games are gonna be totally flip out in the future near. And also yesterday I was hearing a project that amazed me because I don't know if you have heard about Tamagotchis. So maybe sometime it was like a crazy little game that a pet, you feed the pet, and actually the pet grew with you. So yesterday I saw a project from a guy that is gonna throw some dogs in the blockchain, and those dogs, if you don't attend your wallet, are gonna be angry. And if you have the female and the male, you can breed like dogs, and it's pretty amazing. And gaming is gonna be so good on NFT world in the near future. So pretty cool.
May, do you have any thoughts on that, especially being it was Kenya, right? Being from Kenya, do you have any thoughts on it?
Not at the moment.
You're good.
Thank you.
I guess
Yeah, I
that's
do agree. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I do agree with Laura, Mark, Dio on what they said about the what is gonna be the NFT in the future, and I do believe that the metaverse 20 years from now is gonna replace all the malls. Like it's gonna be where you're gonna go and do shopping with your avatar, collectibles you have. And this is going to be like something where I'm like pretty sure Amazon was gonna be the first one who will create that metaverse for as an outlet for them to present their you know the item that they have in their Amazon app. So they will have to create this metaverse where they have shops everywhere, and it's gonna be Amazon only, and you can go and it's the same tool, but it's in the metaverse, which is I think Amazon is the first one who will do that probably.
Interesting. I do see that, like, where like you buy some item or some accessory, you get a virtual and like physical aspect counterpart to it. Like, yeah.
So it is like what Laura said. Sorry, that this is gonna be your receipt, the NFT, and when when Ethereum gas fees go like start to be like low, like it's approximately like not existed, this is gonna like push all these big companies. Amazon will be actually, I do believe Amazon will be the first who will do that. Maybe Apple later or before, Samsung, all of this innovative companies is going to be the first who will jump in and create the metaverses to present them their items on it. I think this is something that they might be doing it. I don't know, you know, it's like they might be doing it already, because the level of innovation for the metaverse, it fit these companies.
Wouldn't be surprised tomorrow if Amazon is like, you know, NFTs are coming soon, or just like eBay or something. Yeah, I mean, it's really cool, really interesting. And like, to really cap up this conversation, where can people find out more about you? Like your Twitter, your foundations, your any links you guys have, just like say them for
Sorry,
people to check. Go ahead.
Mahmoud, I just wanted to chime in here. Sorry, I wasn't able to speak because I was still stuck in a situation, but
No,
on
good.
two concepts. I do apologize. To what Laura was saying in terms of the gaming, I think the gaming is really going to be a huge catalyst to this, and to the NFT community as well, because kids are already purchasing a lot of items through different games and such. So they're already experiencing this type of transaction, but not to essentially the level of the NFTs. So in my view, like I said, the gaming community, and I agree with Laura 100%, will be one of the biggest catalysts. And we were also talking about currencies, and more of I guess, a secure currency. But when you see these kids or individuals in the gaming community purchasing
I think you cut
We
out there.
lost his audio. Yes.
to sort of come to that understanding, because when we're all purchasing or making transactions, we're all looking at ETH for that for the main extent. So when we're looking at ETH, we're always relating it back to this is how much it's going to cost me in ETH. And not so much this relates back to, is it going to be 50 bucks, 100 bucks? Do I have this ETH? So when you hear the conversations in terms of that, that's what I sort of hear and sort of see. So when I'm making that transaction, I sort of take a look to see if the ETH that I have is there and if it's going to go up or if it's going to go down in terms of cost in ETH. Because we know that there's going to be fluctuations, whether it's going to be going down, and that's like with any currency. So, you know, some like obviously currencies, like if you take a look at the US dollar compared to various other currencies, they fluctuate on a daily basis. Maybe not to the extent that, you know, for instance, ETH was at 4,000 and now it's dropped. But the growth as time progresses, that ETH should and also grow in that same sort of aspect. So I think they're all combined, to be honest with you. And where we sort of see the growth stage from, like I said, from for the gaming side to how people are actually spending, are sort of really interrelated. So I do believe that is definitely one of the main growth stage that's out there as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for chiming in and I guess giving your thoughts. It's always great to have another perspective involved. And yeah, just to cap off the conversation, just tell us your links where people can check your art out, or even your just your Twitter as well. So we can start from NFT Millionaire.
Do you want me to send it to the chat here?
Oh no, just like say your Twitter handle.
It is at NFT Millionaire.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Laura, if you want to go next, and then you can just.
Yeah, sure. Sorry about the different noise here. I'm doing multiple things at once.
There you go.
But yeah, my Twitter handle is Laura Doodles2, TOO.
Mm-hmm. Mark.
Yeah, it's at Mark Maroc, so you can easily find it.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is Edu Crypto.
Mm-hmm. And then Peppercino and May.
Yeah, mine is simply NFT Pepperoncino.
Mm-hmm.
And mine is, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Laura. Go ahead, May.
Sorry. So my Twitter handle is NAIBO Visuals, Naibo Visuals. And I have my work on foundation, OpenSea, Nifty Kit, and also Hen. And I believe that's all, right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
And Pepperoncino, you were adding something?
No, sorry.
All right. So I guess those are all the questions I have today. But thank you guys for all joining for this big roundtable podcast. And for everyone listening, have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks
you
again. Thanks again, Mahmoud. Take care.
Let's keep in touch, though.
Thanks a lot.
Yep, sure.
Will do.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Bye.